Stick around if you want a real-time tutorial for this courage piece. Welcome back to my channel. I post videos every week. To achieve this look, I used these markers. It doesn't have to be these colors specifically, but I used N79, a Tombow dual brush pen, a white paint marker, or you could use a Jelly Roll 10, but I used the paint marker. Another Tombow dual brush or any solid color will be just fine. I used 26 and I used 95 for the shadows. You really just need two light gray colors and a black color and a white color. It doesn't have to be these specifically, but the one on the right is a Tombow small tip brush pen. You get tons of control with that little guy. That is my favorite pen to work with. So first we're going to use a pencil. I always like to work with pencil, and I kind of just drew it in the air because I was imagining myself drawing the word. I like to visualize it before I actually put the pencil to the paper, and I always like to start with pencil. That way I could see how it's going to look and I'm still able to erase any parts that I don't like. So I think this is definitely an important step. I like using a mechanical pencil because it erases easier and I don't have to sharpen my pencil. I didn't really like where the baseline was on the A, so I changed it. Luckily I used pencil, so I was able to. So now I'm going to go in with my solid color, and you're going to do light upstrokes and heavy downstrokes. And if you don't know how to brush letter at all, I am going to have a separate video just on the entire alphabet that is probably already on my channel, so check that out if you don't know how to brush letter. So I'm just doing light upstrokes, heavy downstrokes, and I make sure to stop before each letter. A lot of people make the mistake of not picking up their pen, and it really is important to lift your pen. So I'm going down, I'm going up, continuous up, I'm stopping right there. I mean right here. I kind of scooted it up. Normally I would keep it one line and then stop. And then you erase. Make sure it's dry, which I didn't, and that is why the E is a little bit smudged. The key to shadowing is keeping it consistent. I'm imagining the sun from the top left corner. So that means all the lines on the left side are getting the sunlight, which means the lines on the right side are getting shadows. So if the line is facing that sun, then the shadow is on the opposite side. So I'm just on the right side of each letter, and the twists and turns get a little bit confusing, but once you learn and keep practicing, it's just second nature. You know where the lines go. See, that is the left side, this is the right side. The sun's over here, and we are on the right side. On the bottom of that letter is the right side of that line. Now the right side, and down, we're on the right side. And I will just let you watch this. The bottom, we're on the right side. I know I just keep repeating it, but if you just repeat it in your head, you're gonna get it. So this is the right side, and on the inside of this line is the right side. This is the right side, and a lot of people forget these little lines right here, and you gotta do those little lines as well. There should be a shadow throughout the entire letter, entire word. There is no empty spaces. It is throughout the entire letter, and it stays on the right side. Every time I see a piece that has this shadow effect, I like to zoom in on the picture and see if they missed any little spots. It's kind of like a little game, and sometimes I look back at my own pieces and I realize that I forgot to shadow one of the little lines. So whenever I finish, I just go back and I skim over it and just make sure there are lines throughout the entire piece. as you can see to the right, I totally missed the spot. So I went back in and finished that little piece. See that how there are black lines throughout the entire word. And now, just to be perfect, I'm just going back in with the solid color to clean up these lines. Sometimes I like it to have a messy look and I like it to look like that, but for this video I'm just gonna make it as perfect as possible and fill in the rest of the lines. And now you can definitely tell that this is jumping off the page. It just gives it so much more depth, and I love adding shadows to my letters, because now whenever I just have a solid color with no extra decoration, it just looks so plain. Although sometimes I do like the plain look. And now we are going in with my 79 Tombow brush pen. This is a light gray. You don't have to have this brush pen. You could use just the light gray that you have. I think a Crayola Super Tips have a light gray color, or you could use a light tan. And now I'm going on everywhere where the black line is, and I'm skipping over a few lines just because the angle of my pen, I don't want to keep changing it, so I'm gonna keep my brush pen at this angle and do all of the black lines. And then I'm going to change the angle of my pen and go over the rest of the lines. That way it's just faster because I don't have to keep changing the angle of my brush pen. So like I said, this is just going over all of the black lines that we already created. So you already have a guide. So this should be pretty quick. This is in real time, but feel free to pause this video if you need to. And now I am going in to the rest of the lines and shadowing it in. I'm going to stop talking for a moment and just do your thing. I'm not doing anything right here. I'm just air drawing, making sure that all of my shadows are in there. All right, now I am just fixing up some of the shadow lines. And now I'm going to draw these little doodads, I like to call them. They look good over loops and stuff. So I just put 3. And I think it looks pretty balanced like this. And I went in with my darker gray. You could use a darker tan. Now I'm just going in. I started with my white jelly roll, but I realized it was too translucent looking, so I went in with my white paint marker, which is much more inky. I definitely prefer a white paint marker over a jelly roll, but if all you have is a jelly roll, then you can use that or whatever white you have. I'm just making a line and then a dot dot. I don't know how to describe that. A line, dot dot, just on the upper half of the entire letter. Whatever you want to do is best. So if you don't want to follow someone's guidelines and you like something a different way, then I say go for it. You don't have to do what's considered standard. You are your own style. You can do it your way, and your way is the best way. If you like it, then that's all that matters. And now I'm going in with my lightest gray Tombow dual brush, and I'm just going on the right side of each line just to give it a shadowy effect. And that is all for today. You have completed this beautiful piece. I'd love to know if you tried it out. How did you do? Make sure to subscribe. I post videos every week. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching. See you next time.